All right. Welcome in on the clock, NFL Draft Show. This is episode number 14. Today we complete an NFL Draft mock draft that we started 3 episodes ago, and what a way to finish this thing. I am surrounded by royalty. I'm surrounded by 2 dudes who lift me up, who make me want to be a better analyst, a better podcaster, a better teammate, a better worker. And man, it's the mayor and the governor. I got the mayor at Nino Brown _T2T. I got the governor, KT at Leverett _KT. Fellas, what is cooking?
Hey, Mayor, it's been a long time, man. I ain't got to argue with you in a little minute, man. I miss my bro, man. What's happening, bro?
I'm back.
You got the
It's
game
been a little
chokehold,
bit.
too.
It's been a little bit, but I'm ready. I ain't gonna say much until we get into these picks. I dropped that Oregon piece today. It's going buck wild. I'm loving it. Let's talk some draft. Let's go.
Man, the growth was so real with Nino that he shedded his skin and his computer broke, and he had to get a new computer. Man, it was like a Pokemon evolving from one level to another. Year 1's over. The computer couldn't handle it anymore, and it basically the screen just went blank and said, "I'm done. Upgrade." And the dude upgraded, and now look at you. You're crystal clear.
Oh, all right. I feel good. Look good. Yeah. Feel good, right?
I like the beard.
Natural selection is beautiful. I'm going to tell you why natural selection is beautiful. Nino was going into overdrive. PC dies, phone breaks. It forced him to go into hibernation for a few days, and I feel like natural selection always does what it's supposed to do.
Man, and this dude, like, we have our chats. Like, I'm in the CFB Nation chat and the Gilded chat, which you need to get into if you're a member of the Title Tribe. We need to get you in there, and I get to chat with you guys throughout the day. And sometimes we get busy, things get hectic, and usually, like, I'm the voice of reason. Nino went zen while he was away from the computer, and this dude, he's the one being the voice of reason to me, and like the tables have turned.
I told you I had no electronics. I was, off the grid for 2 days. I woosawed like Martin Lawrence, and now I'm back. Bad boys forever. We ride together, we die together.
Hey, let's get it.
Hell yeah. Well, I am absolutely excited for this one. All right, this one's brought to you by Real Ones Productions. Check them out. Go check out the CFB Nation on YouTube. KT, I'm going to let you kind of as much as you can. And it would take an hour probably to explain everything that's going on over there. I'm in that chat, and because now I don't know if it's the Armory. I don't know if it's Black Knight Insight. I don't know, but we're doing some West Point Army football content. And by the way, West Point, like, beautiful campus. Like, I cannot wait to spend more time up there. But anyway, I've been diving into college football. Let everybody know why they should follow and subscribe to the CFB Nation. What you got going on over there?
It's amazing, man. First and foremost, if you're watching this content, I know just like on CFB Nation side, on Toilet Potatoes side, check and make sure that subscribe button is actually engaged. So that's the first thing you need to do, and also that notification bell so you don't miss any of these episodes. But listen, D-Now, Nino, Coach, Boomer, Moon, Matt, I pray I didn't forget anybody, are cheat codes. 100% cheat codes. So this weekend we're covering 4 games. Nino will be in Boston College. I know you're ready for that one.
I can't wait.
I know you're ready for that one. I'll be in Clemson. Mike will be in Georgia Tech. and Moon, I'm sorry, Mike will be in Virginia Tech. Moon will be in Georgia Tech. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. You got Your Army spring game is what?
Next Friday. Next Friday.
So
yeah,
we're roughly a week out.
Yeah, so I'm going. They have practice on Monday, so I went to practice Tuesday. I'm going out to practice on Monday, and I'm going to spend as much time up there as I can.
Tuesday. I mean, next Friday, huh? Next Friday, I think I'm in Syracuse.
Yes,
for spring
that's
game.
correct.
I believe so. We're just
we're
putting pins everywhere. We're just dropping pins.
Right. Right. Phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal, and we are just rolling. And right now, I'm working on. I think Nino, you're working on player profiles. Go check out toiletstotitles.com because we have. I want to say we have over 100.
Yeah.
Way over 100, and now I'm starting to not only have these I'm starting to work on tight ends right now, so we're almost finished. I got a top 50 big board. You can check that out. So we should have the first round covered. Every player who's drafted in the first round, we should have on there. So go check out our big board. I'll probably bump it up to 75 by next week, 100 the week after.
We'll get it by 100 by the weekend. 100 by the weekend. I'm locked in.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's good. Life's good. And also check out toiletstitles.com because we're going to have a CFB Nation tab on there where you're going to be able to find all the college football articles. And Nino, you wrote one recently.
Yeah, I just dropped that Oregon piece. Can the duo of Lanning and Nick's take the Pac-12 by storm? I mean, all I'm hearing is USC this, USC that, Colorado, Deion. I love Deion and everything, but people failed to remember what the Ducks got, what they brought in. You know what I mean? They brought in 5 stars on the offense, on the defense. Bo Nix is back. You know what I mean? Like they threw him in the ringer. They thought he was done. He was, dirty laundry, and my boy came out, tied clean. So I want to see what the Ducks got this year. But go check that article out on toiletstitles.com. It's a feature article on top of the page. Hit that click, boom, give it a like, share that on Twitter, and let's rock.
Yeah, man. KT, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't forget D-Now was in Champaign next week as well. I forgot about that. He'll be at Illinois spring game. I got an interview with Grayson McCall tomorrow. Me and Moon got a lot of surprises for that one. We got a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff done for that one. I'll drop that Saturday while in Clemson. So it's a lot of beautiful things going on.
Man, so I don't want to take away from what we're doing right now. Why you're here for this mock draft. If you are watching this and you're not watching it live, well, even if you're watching it live, you can click pause and you can go back and watch the first 2 versions of this, all right? Oliver Hodgkinson, Shane Hallam, we completed the first 20 picks. So you can go check that out, or just, spoiler alert, watch it now and then watch those later. But we're here to mock draft this evening, and then just subscribe, tune in, because we are going to be flooding your feed with NFL draft, fantasy football, college football content. Things are about to get wild. So I'm going to recap the mock draft picks. So again, if you want to watch the first 2 first, and spoiler alert, hit pause, go do it now, and now it's on you. If you hear these picks and I spoiled it for you, too bad. You stuck around. All right. Carolina Panthers.
It's on you.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers went number 1, CJ Stroud. Houston Texans took Bryce Young. Arizona Cardinals took Tyree Wilson. That's Shane Hallam. All right. He knows his stuff. Indianapolis Colts took Will Anderson. Seattle Seahawks, Jalen Carter. Detroit Lions, Lucas Van Ness. Las Vegas Raiders, Christian Gonzalez. Atlanta Falcons, Will Levis. Chicago Bears, Broderick Jones. Philadelphia Eagles, Devon Witherspoon. Tennessee Titans, Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Houston Texans, Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver out of Ohio State. New York Jets, Darnell Wright, offensive tackle out of Tennessee. New England Patriots took Peter Skoronski, offensive lineman, Northwestern. Green Bay Packers took Brian Branch, DB out of Alabama. Washington Commanders, this was interesting. Took Anthony
Freshly
Richardson.
sold.
Freshly sold. Magic Johnson, right? So he's got himself a new quarterback, Anthony Richardson. If only he could pass like Magic Johnson. Zing, out of Florida. The Pittsburgh Steelers took Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. Detroit Lions took Deonte Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Tampa Bay Buccaneers took Hendon Hooker, quarterback out of Tennessee. Seattle Seahawks took John Michael Schmitz, interior offensive lineman out of Minnesota. KT, that puts you on the clock for the Los Angeles Chargers. Pick 21.
All right, so I got a couple thought processes here, and really the overarching one is, let's get Jay Herbo another target. How do I want to approach that? Do I want to go at wide receiver? Do I want to go tight end? Tight end is something that I really would want to pick here, but I feel like we can get that position in the second, maybe even the 3rd round as well. So I'm not going to be long-winded. The LA Chargers select Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC.
Man, so is that wide receiver 2, if I'm not mistaken, in this mock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith-Njigba was
He's the
wide
only
receiver
one.
one.
So, Quentin
All right.
Johnson is still there.
All right, so we got 2 wide receivers off the board. That is exciting. And going to the Los Angeles Chargers, he can learn a bit from Keenan Allen. I think they'll work well together. I like it. Nino, you're on the clock for the Baltimore Ravens.
So there's a lot swirling around in Baltimore, right? They just freshly signed Odell Beckham Jr., who looks good in this little workout he did for teams. He looks like he's primed and ready to go. So he's obviously an asset. And Lamar supposedly had some input on that. He gave him a few calls on the side. But he's not their quarterback officially yet. He's still on that non-exclusive franchise, tag. So could they go another wide receiver here? It's possible, right? They could get a wide receiver. We could do back-to-back wide receivers in this round. But I'm hearing rumors that they might go out there and trade for D-Hop now. That's what's bubbling lately, what I see on the Angry Blue Bird. And it's from some decent people, not those scrubs putting it out there. So it's something that's real. But there's also that gentleman, that kind of got replaced mid-season last year, who was having a decent year. And now it seems, rumblings out of the Baltimore is that he could be on the trade block. And that's Patrick Queen. So
What?
I heard that there's some rumors swirling. He could
Two. That's 2 LSU linebackers with Devin White and Patrick Queen.
Well, no, he's not asking for the trade block. I'm hearing Ravens might be shopping him.
But
so if that's it,
same.
yeah, I know. I mean, they brought in Roquan. He's the guy. He ain't going nowhere. Obviously, they just guaranteed him $60 million, so he's not going nowhere. I'm just gonna wrap this up quick. I'm gonna go with Baltimore taking a defensive guy because that's just what they do. They're gonna take Georgia edge rusher Nolan Smith.
I like it.
That's great value too.
You get Smith on one side, Roquan, on the second line, and then you also got the gentleman they drafted last year from UConn, right? Travis, is it Jones? I believe it's. I might be saying his name,
See a
but
defensive tackle.
he was an edge.
Okay.
He didn't play much, but he didn't play much last year. But he's
And they got Kyle Hamilton at the third. I mean,
they got all levels. I mean, they do need a cornerback, but I think with the value, what Nolan Smith brings to them, 4.39 speed on the edge is just stupid. You know what I mean? He's a man among boys. So I think he fits in day one. Boom.
So is there a so you like Nolan Smith over Myles Murphy, or do you just like him better for this scheme over Myles Murphy?
I think it's a combination, actually.
Okay.
That's a perfect question. I just think Nolan Smith in a Baltimore scheme, right? Like, I mean, you're just gonna accent all of his perfect talent he has to rush the passer, get in the backfield and wreak havoc. So I think that is absolutely perfect for him. I do like Smith a little bit more than Murphy, just a little bit more. I've said it, on many shows. Murphy kind of eased up this year.
Yeah.
Right. I think, obviously Smith only played 9 games due to injury, but Murphy played a full season. He kind of was laying it up. So.
And you mentioned they could use a corner. Who'd be a good fit if we went to the second round? If we continue this thing, DJ Turner, who you have as your cornerback 9, Michigan. I think he'd fit well. I think he'd fit well in Baltimore.
I have a feeling that the guy that you don't like too much is a better fit in Baltimore.
Cam Smith?
Yeah. That's their scheme, their style. Like
Right.
a bigger cornerback who can kind of play physicals, got hands. I think that he would be. I don't know if he'll be there, but I think he would be a good fit for the Ravens.
All right, so I'm on the clock for the Minnesota Vikings. And to be fair, I had 4 players I was interested in. Jordan Addison, I was interested in, possibly to replace Adam Thielen. Okay, put him in the slot next. I think they need weapons on offense. I do. I think Kirk Cousins is probably on his last legs in Minnesota. There's some buzz that they might take Hendon Hooker. I believe Hendon Hooker is already gone. So yeah, he went at 19.
Yeah,
so that can't happen in this mock. But I do think they need weapons. And I might surprise you with where they go here. They can save some money by letting go of Dalvin Cook.
Oh yeah,
Minnesota Vikings.
I knew you were going this route I knew it.
Doesn't it make sense? Like it
100%. 100%.
I'm going Bijan Robinson, it's a name you're not really hearing. You're not really hearing Bijan Robinson in Minnesota. Go ahead.
The pressure's on now because Saquon ain't signing the tag and he ain't going to camp. So they know that the Giants are behind them and they're not gonna be hungry for a running back. They're the one who took Saquon in the first, their last team to take a running back in the first.
And if they don't, the Cowboys are there too.
Right. So they know that the pressure's on. From what I heard in the interview today, they asked about Dalvin Cook to the GM. He just said he's on the team right now.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because what do you want to do? You got Justin Jefferson, right? You got you don't got TJ Hawkinson. So you got to replace, you got to have something alongside Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook ain't going to be there forever. He's not reliable. They can save some money. You bring in a guy like Bijan Robinson, then whoever takes the helm next has 2 young studs that can help him out right away. So I think it makes sense. I'm feeling good about it. KT, you're back on the clock. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Real quick.
That was
real quick.
Pick. Go ahead.
Is it possible that Cook's traded on draft night?
Yes, but where? Let's talk.
Oh, I knew. Look at, I got him all fired up.
Yeah.
Buffalo
With his brother.
What about 1-2 punch? You get the banger, and you get the guy who catches the ball at the backfield.
I will be jumping for joy.
How would he look with McDaniels? I keep saying, and George tells me Miami, they don't need a premier running back, but I think he could run that zone scheme.
But he doesn't fit that scheme, right?
I think he can run the zone scheme.
You think he can? He never has, though.
I think he can. I think he's swift, man. I think I know he's a downhill runner.
What is he?
Got good vision.
210? 220? What is he? 225?
Well, how much is Mostert? How much does Mostert weigh?
205, like the 200.
Yeah.
He's like a speedster. They got all speed back, but that team's built for speed because I'm not knocking him, but his quarterback is, either runs or he's throwing.
All right, so not Miami, possible Buffalo. I don't think there's any team in the
Carolina.
NFC. Man, they could, especially when they get a. So what do you think the asking price is going to be? 4?
Yeah, I would. I think they're going to try to get him for a 4th because now he's healthy off the surgery, right? The shoulder's good. He's got no problems no more.
We saw Gilmore and Cooks go for a 5th. I think he's more talented than both of them. He's a little bit younger. So I'd say somewhere between a 3rd and a 4th. And if you get a young quarterback, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Takes the pressure off the young guy.
Right. Hey, if you're listening in the comments, let us know where you think would be a good spot for Dalvin Cook, because this is intriguing to me.
You see this right here?
Jacob trade to Buffalo, Andreas. Stop it.
That's no way, bro.
Imagine if he's right, though.
That's crazy.
What do we do, though, if Rich is right?
Hey, kudos. Good for you, Rich. I'll send you $1 in the mail.
Yeah, I'll send him some I'll send him some Cracker Jacks, Rich. That's a bold call.
Hey, I'll send him. I will go on eBay. If he's correct, I will send him a silk screen, not even a sewn on, a silk screen Jamarcus Russell Raiders jersey.
Oh. That's pretty.
That's pretty ugly.
They're talking about jerseys one of these days. I'm a collector. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, bro, I already been looking at the Bo Nix, Oregon yellow.
Man, so. I don't see any team in maybe the Bucks, but the Bucks are tanking.
Nah, dude, they're not good. Listen. Why you say they're tanking? You think they're tanking for Caleb?
They don't really think Baker Mayfield is gonna. They're not competing.
It's not. I don't think they're taking, bro. Brady screwed them with the salary, bro. They're in the bag for like $45 million, like over the cap.
I think they brought Baker in to sell that they're trying to win, and I think they know deep down they're not gonna be able to win.
I don't think it's sell trying to win. I think it was to sell tickets, dude. Who's going to see Kyle Trask?
That's
you ain't going. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Well, you said sell them to win. Fans just want to see a decent product. They know they ain't trying to win.
That's the same, but like. I'm not buying a ticket unless I think the team's trying to win. I think they're trying to sell.
Fans will go to a game just to see a guy.
I'm not.
GMs tank. Owners may try to tank. Coaches and players don't tank. The NFL is not for
I think
that's about coaches not tanking. I know there's some coaches that'll tank.
All right, we are getting off the rails. We are getting off the rails.
If the bag's right, bro. If the owner of the team says to you, I'll cut you under the table 1.5. You win less than 7. Yeah, he's tanking.
We see Houston do one and done back-to-back years.
Yeah, but they're a mess.
Tanking. I don't know. Not in the. I don't think it's a thing in the NFL.
I don't know.
I think they're trying. I think.
What do you think about this one? I like this one.
The Rams.
Oh wow,
that is interesting. I mean,
do they have the capital?
They don't have much capital.
No.
But I don't think it would take much cap. I know they have a 5th. They can do a 5th and a 3rd next year.
Dalvin goes to the Rams. That tells me they're fully sold that Matthew Stafford has enough in the tank for at least one more run.
It's one and done.
Yeah, you're not bringing in Dalvin Cook unless you fully believe we're going for it.
Yeah, yeah. They have no choice but to go for it. Oh, it's get rid of it all. But let's get back to the draft.
Yes. This was fun. All right, KZ, you're on the clock with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go ahead.
All right, that was intriguing. I feel like for Jacksonville, there's a couple places I would want to go. Tight end, offensive tackle, safety will be a good pick here, but you took the safety that I would want to take in the first round. So I'm going to go cornerback. Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to go E. Forbes. I don't know if I want to go Cam Smith. I don't know if I want to go Keely Ringo. I'm going to go Cam Smith, the guy that coach doesn't like.
Good pick.
So that's who I'm drafting.
All right, so Cam Smith off the board. So now that secondary is pretty much rebuilt, right? So let's see, South Carolina. From the days back when Jalen Ramsey was there and Miles Jack was at linebacker. And who was the dude from Florida State? Telvin Smith. Remember Telvin Smith?
Yes,
he had like three huge
Telvin
years
Smith.
in the NFL and just completely disappeared.
I was
fell-
never
he fell
sold
off.
on Miles Jack, man.
No, but I'm
Like,
just
I
naming.
just think they were such a bad team, and he just happened to be getting run into so many times that the numbers look good.
Well, and that also, Telvin Smith, I don't think was a high draft pick. If I'm
No,
not
he was like
mistaken.
a fourth rounder, I believe.
So Miles Jack was.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying.
That tells you how good he was that Telvin Smith took the spotlight. You know,
that's
like
what I'm saying. Wait, didn't
yeah.
Jack go to Steelers?
who knows?
And he was just like
UCLA
You know what I mean?
had this weird period where they were putting out linebackers who were also running backs and
Well, they were
Shaq
putting out
Thompson.
undersized linebackers before it was a thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
they were dual. They played both sides of the
They
ball.
play both
Yeah.
sides. you're right.
Shaq played both sides of the ball. Oh, no, was Shaq Washington or UCLA? Now I'm getting twisted up. But I know
Ooh, think
Anthony Barr was UCLA. He played
was
both sides
he
of the
was
ball.
UCLA and Miles Jack was UCLA.
Man, now I'm rambling. I could be
D-
wrong. So you can
All right.
check me.
all right.
D now, I agree.
Yeah, they need a
Jacksonville
tackle.
needs-
Yeah, I agree 100%.
All right. New York Giants, Nino, you're on the clock. Don't screw
I got
it
to
up.
do this. I got to do my boy Joe
Uh-oh.
Clark justice.
Shout out
Okay.
to Joe.
So I had 3 guys on the dock for me lined up. I know coach is prepped. I got to be prepped. So I had a couple guys. I was going Bijan because I have a bad vibe. Barkley's not going to even be on the team come draft night. That's already come out saying he don't try to sign that tag. He ain't even trying to go to camp until something's worked out. And if he ain't get at least 3 years, he's not signed none. So I just don't see that happening. Maybe they make a trade for Jacobs or Dalvin Cook. They got Darren Waller from the Raiders earlier in this month, I believe, or maybe the end of last month. There's a lot of questions. They could go. I like Jahmyr Gibbs here for them. I think it's a little early, but I think a guy out of the backfield that's got hands, he can run. He's fast, right? He would take the pressure off of Danny Dimes and help elevate Danny Dimes' run game because, now you got 2 threats in the backfield. So I do like Gibbs, but it is early. He's not an alpha running back. Alpha running backs are barely going in the first round. To take Gibbs at this moment, it's kind of like if that was the only piece to win, then I'd be all right. I'd be with it. But I think they need a little bit more. They need a DB as well. You took the guy that I liked the most that was left, in Cam Smith, right before this. I'm going to go with a guy that nobody's really talking about too much, and I think he fills the void for them in their third need, and that's interior defensive lineman, Mazzie Smith out of Michigan. Especially with Dexter Lawrence and all that nonsense going on. He doesn't know if he wants to play for them no more. He's not coming back. They need another guy in defense. You know what I mean? They're going to need another guy to just cause pressure. So I like Mazzie Smith. And like I said, they are in desperate need of an interior defensive lineman.
And Dino's saying, go ahead. I'm sorry, KT.
No, I had a question, another question for Nino because I love picking his brain.
Let's go.
So Brian Breesy was available. Kalaja Cansey was available. Why Mazzie Smith over both of them?
Their need for mainly interior defensive guy right now. Brian can play on the outside and the inside.
Yeah,
right?
both of them can kick out.
Right. I think they just need a guy in the inside, the solid inside guy that can dominate.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't had in a few years. Go ahead, Coach.
I was gonna say, you know what he's gonna do. You know where else they have a need? They have a need at linebacker. You know what Mazzie Smith's going to do? He's going to keep those linebackers clean. So those linebackers who might be a C or B level player are going to look like an A level player because offensive guards and centers aren't going to be able to get to the second level.
He can open up the A and the B gap and let these guys eat. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get your point with Breesy, you know what I'm saying, and the other gentleman. It's just
They do the dirty work, those guys.
Yeah, I feel those guys are going to cause pressure more so on the outside. They may line up on the inside, and when they stunt, he goes outside. I don't see Breesy lining up and staying on the inside a lot of the game.
No,
so
he couldn't be a zero technique.
Exactly. I think Mazzy can do that for them, and I think he is week one, day one improvement on that line in the middle.
And I only ask those. My bad, coach. I only ask those questions just for perception for the audience, just so they can get it. I already know where you at with it. I just want clarity.
I got you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, Shaq Thompson did go to Washington. And he did
play.
He played safety, slot corner, linebacker, and running back. So I got him mixed up because him and Jack came out kind of around the same time. And I know they both played both sides of the ball, but I think Barr did too. So I wasn't all wrong. I was just partly wrong. All right. So Mazie Smith, he was interior defensive lineman. The Cowboys are interested in him. So now, speaking of the Cowboys, I'm on the clock with the Dallas Cowboys. And this is interesting. So for full disclosure, Osiris Torrance was the first player I took for the Cowboys back when we did our first mock in like November. And I'm considering him here, but I don't think I'm going to go that route. Steve Avila, I've found out is how you pronounce his last name. I'm considering him as well. He was a 30 visit. Michael Mayer, tight end at a Notre Dame, but I don't know if I want to take a tight end this early. I think the Cowboys are going to go Drew Sanders. I think he was a 30 visit. He is, I think Leighton Vander Esch, likely one and done. Jabril Cox is more of a nickel linebacker. You're not going to see him on running downs. I think you're going to see Damone Clark play strong side, but they're going to need that true Mike. And we saw Drew Sanders transition from an edge at Alabama to a Mike linebacker at Arkansas. And I believe he led the FBS with 7 games with 5 or 7 plus tackles and 1 sack or something like that. He had ridiculous numbers. This is a project. Okay. I do think he's a good player. He's very young. He just turned 21 in December, but I think the Cowboys are going to see this as a player like Tyler Smith last year, who they expect to have his best football ahead of him. Go ahead.
Hey. Oh, for Trent Simpson?
Yeah. I think
you would rather take a project guy over a day one plug and play and eat linebacker?
Yeah, I like his versatility. Oh yeah.
Over Trent Simpson?
Yes.
Where do you have Trent Simpson ranked in your linebacker rankings?
I have number 1.
Why would you not take him?
Because I think he fits with Dallas. Because I think Dan Quinn. That's your answer right there.
Do you think Dan Quinn would make Drew Sanders better than Trent Simpson in the NFL?
Yes.
Put that on the board. We'll revisit that in 3 years.
Okay. If he gets picked, but I definitely think so. I think what Dan Quinn, I mean, Michael Parsons is a freak in nature, but what he's able to do with that, DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to be around. Having a guy who can come off the edge, I think they're going to need an extra guy.
And want a guy? Trent Simpson's that guy. Everything you just said sums up Trent Simpson in a bottle.
How many tackles for loss did he have last year?
5.
What was his run stopping grade? What was his pass rushing grade? They're all worse than Drew Sanders. You're the one who got the subscription to PFF. No,
you're right.
So I looked at the numbers before.
But I don't think the man running the show in Clemson utilized all of his guys the best.
So the Arkansas guy did?
Well, there's a reason why he left Bama and went to Arkansas. That's first off. All right, you left the best of the best to go play with the kiddos.
Right. And who did he take with him?
But it doesn't matter who he took with him, but he had to leave to be good.
He took Drew Sanders with him.
No. I'm talking about Drew Sanders. He had to leave to be good. He couldn't make it with the creme de la creme.
He changed positions. He changed from an edge to middle linebacker.
He had to.
And listen to me. Who's better, Henry To'oTo'o or Drew Sanders?
Drew Sanders.
So why didn't Alabama start him over Henry To'oTo'o?
Because
is that on Drew Sanders or is that on Alabama for not acknowledging talent?
It could be on Alabama for not acknowledging talent, but I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Trent Simpson is leaps and bounds right now a day one player above Drew Sanders. Facts.
I think he was a better player in college, but I think Drew Sanders hasn't peaked yet. He's only 235 pounds. He's about 6'4". I think he can put on some size. I think he's shown he can go downhill. I
think if Clemson had a better quarterback, Trent Simpson wouldn't have been on the field all day. And we would have got a little bit better outcome out of him. We would have been gassed. That team was on defensive side of the ball, was on the field all game.
All right, we're in your ballpark right now. All right. This is your college football. I think the Cowboys are interested. He was a 30 visit. All right, I think Simpson was as well. So I'll give you that. But
Yeah, Nino, you don't think that Drew Sanders has a higher ceiling?
Then Trent Simpson?
Yeah.
no, he just yelled from the
No.
rooftop.
I can understand why you say Trent Simpson. He has a much higher floor. I agree. But higher ceiling?
I just
You don't remember how rough around the edges Tremaine Edmonds was coming out of college?
I understand where I get it. But
System matters.
your
matters.
system matters. You're right. Exactly. 1 year switch. You got 1 year. We got 1 year sample size. We got Trent Simpson multiple years. There's a reason why he's ranked number 1 by everybody across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, at that pick, if he's on the board and you're talking about needing a linebacker, I'm taking Homie.
I think Trenton Simpson is more like what they have with Damone Clark, and I think Sanders is different.
I just think you put Simpson behind Parsons. God bless trying to stop that.
Fair. Well, we'll see what they do, because I'm not Will McClay, and the Cowboys might prove you right, and they might go with Simpson. But Jerry also went to Arkansas, so I think that plays in. The Cowboys haven't picked many Arkansas Razorbacks, but Jerry Jones did play at Arkansas. I think that might factor in a little bit. But KT, on to you with the Buffalo Bills.
This is you guys really put me in a difficult position for a number of factors. One, I didn't expect Quentin Johnson nor Zay Flowers to be on the board. Two, may not be an immediate need, but I can certainly see Kalijah Kancey with the Buffalo Bills. We know how much Buffalo loves defensive linemen. So just a couple. Same thing with Brian Breesy. But I have to make the pick that makes the most sense right now, and that will be grabbing Osiris Torrance from Florida.
Do you think that's where I was going to go when I mentioned his name?
Yeah, I thought that's where you were going to go. And if you had went there, then I would have probably went closer to best player available. I might have snatched Kalijah Kancey.
I got a question for you, KT.
Yeah.
Osiris had a couple issues in Florida, right? With behavioral or whatever it may be. Obviously, McDermott don't take no crap, so that'll be eliminated. But do you feel that his position where he plays is the number 1 need for Buffalo?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's the
value.
Yeah, I don't think that's the number 1 need. If I'm being honest, our safeties are getting a little bit older. But with Brian Branch off the board, I'm not going to take another safety here.
What about JL Skinner? Oh, Antonio Johnson.
What about Tyreek Stevenson? He could play. He might be playing some safety in the NFL.
I'm a big fan of both of those players. I think now would just be a reach.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cyrus is safe.
Yeah, no, I get it. And that's why I said the value of the safety. It's
it's a weird draft.
You're keeping your quarterback safe, and you're also helping your running backs get extra time to hit lanes. So I'm cool with it. I get it. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit.
If I'm Buffalo, I'm moving up to like the top 20 of the second round, and I'm getting Josh Downs. I'm putting him in the slot because I think he would work so well with Josh Allen. I think that would be a match made in heaven.
You said Josh Downs, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you off camera, Nino. I gotta ask you off camera.
You don't like him?
Well, we're just gonna talk. We might talk about him a little later.
Yeah.
We might talk about him. We'll see how this goes.
All right. Well, Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock.
Well, Bengals are on the clock. And they recently, picked up. I can't stay healthy, Mr. Irv Smith, the tight end, replaced Double H. So they need a tight end. They also need defense interior. They need a DB. I see DB everywhere as a need. I think they need safety. Both of their gentlemen, kind of didn't do it. And Homeboy says he's kind of out. They didn't offer him an extension, right? So that's the thing I had with Boomer. Boomer told me that Homeboy was coming back and he was going to lock it down. I said, he's done. Bates is done, bro. Bates ended up leaving and going to, I believe, Houston. Is that where he went? He signed a deal with Houston. So they have a need there, I believe, as well. And there's some gentlemen on the board here. I do like Michael Mayer. I do like Dalton Kincaid. And I feel like those guys would be an instant upgrade with Irv Smith, because do we get 6 games out of Irv Smith? Do we get, Alabama Irv Smith? I don't know. It's been a long time since we had a a fully rounded and healthy Irv Smith. So I think he was just a discount bargain piece to fill the void. There it is, Moon Vibes. Bates is in Atlanta. I wasn't sure. So he's gone. I also I had Mazzie Smith here as well for the Bengals. So he's gone. I took him earlier. I had Cam Smith as a DB as well. But I think with everything they've done, they've brought in offensive linemen to protect Joe. There's a good chance that the running game could take a hit because Joey Mixon could get cut, could get traded. With all the legal issues he's got going on.
As well.
But I like stirring the pot. And I'm going to go with Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah, over Michael Mayer. Because for me, since before one snap was taken this year, I had Dalton Kincaid as my guy. And nobody was talking about him because Kuthi was supposed to be the guy. Now, he got injured, and Dalton Kincaid just put his foot in the neck of everybody else but Michael Mayer in this college football game. So I think he is the guy closest to Travis Kelce in this draft. I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce, but he has the closest to Travis Kelce's traits in this draft. You know, somebody's got some craziness going on.
That's me. I'm going to turn it off.
All right. But
Let me turn this in.
I'm a big fan of Kincaid in Cincinnati.
All right. So I drafted Dalton Kincaid. Well, you drafted, I put it on the board for you. Cincinnati Bengals, Dalton Kincaid at pick 28. That's very interesting.
Another point is because T. Higgins could not be there that long. So you do need another weapon. Right? They already said that he wants big money. It was possible they were going to shop him. He could still be shopped. I don't know. But I know that Joey Burrow is getting the bag.
Oh.
So why not get a young weapon, early? You can lock him up for a fifth year. It's still in the first round. You have Chase, you have Kincaid, whatever you want to do after that.
I mean, and if Mixon ain't around, they're going to be throwing the ball 50 times a game anyway. So.
No, they could. Hey, it could be Austin Eckler.
Yeah. Zeke wants up in Ohio or down from me. He wants to be in Cincinnati. He wants to take. All right, I'm on the clock with the New Orleans Saints, and man, I have a few names I'm interested in, and for the most part, it's offensive weapons. And one guy is a former Bayou Bengal on the edge, who I'm kind of considering for the New Orleans Saints. And I didn't expect Zay Flowers to be here. I don't think Michael Thomas is going to be there forever. Their depth chart, it's Rashid Shaheed is like their backup.
Can we do an over-under how many games Michael Thomas plays?
Who cares?
6. I'm going to go 6. Dude.
Yeah, like, dude, Nino, Dean out in our mock draft that you're going to see on toiletstitles.com that we're doing right now. 3-round mock. KT's in there. Nino's in there. He's got the Saints. And just to throw him a bone, he wanted a 3rd-round pick, so I gave him a 3rd for Michael Thomas. But nobody's getting Michael Thomas is like, dude is just he's retired. No, dude's done.
But he should have just went back to Ohio State for that one more year, right? His value would have went even higher, right?
I mean, he crushed it in the NFL. Like
for 3 years, right? It was like he had 3 or 4 year run, and then
so he had a good thing going, and the foot. But how much of it was a foot, and how much was it him just not wanting to play?
Oh, how much? See, that's the thing. I get it. I know it just looked really bad. I think that there's an issue. I think that the Saints forced him to play before that foot was healthy, and he got pissed at that.
Yeah, we'll
and he's
never
come
know.
back multiple times. All right, exactly. We'll never know. But I think the reason why I say go back because he would have went to a different team. He wouldn't have landed in New Orleans. You know what I mean?
Dino's in here. He said, threw me a bone. Yeah, you're mad at me. I had to give you a 3rd-round pick for Michael Thomas to make up for it. So hopefully we're good now. All right.
I love it.
You now make sure you make the best of that 3rd-round pick. All right. Don't go drafting somebody that's gonna stink.
I know where he's going right now. I can see it. I can see the
Me?
keys. No,
Me?
I know where KT's going right now.
Oh well. So I didn't think Zay Flowers would be here, and what I wanted to do was go Jahmyr Gibbs. I was going to take Jahmyr Gibbs, move on from Alvin Kamara, and boom, I think the Saints would have a running back for the next 5 years. But with Zay Flowers still on the board, I think Chris Olave, he's going to be playing on the outside. I think Zay Flowers on the inside. That would give him a very dangerous 1-2 punch at the wide receiver position. I also liked Quentin Johnson and Jalen Hyatt, but that was me thinking Zay Flowers wasn't going to be on the board. So I'm going to take Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College, and put him in New Orleans. What's up?
I'm ready to take the headphones off and walk off this show.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
You
let me have it.
put the air in the Josh Down balloon.
In the middle of the second, I said.
And don't take him now?
What did I say to KT? I'm practical. I said I like him as a slot receiver. I think Zay Flowers, ceiling, we're going to talk ceiling. I think Zay Flowers athletically has a bigger ceiling. I think Zay Flowers' problem is he's so athletic, so he doesn't know how to dial it down. Once he learns how to dial it down, he's a little more nuanced in and out of his routes. I think he's great. Josh Downs is 4 or 5 on my wide receiver list. I think Zay Flowers is second. So I'll take Josh Downs in the middle of the second round where he belongs, and I'll take Zay Flowers. I can like a guy and still be practical about where he belongs. I love him as a slot receiver. I think Josh Downs is a great third down option, a great red zone option. He creates phenomenal pass and windows on downs when you're trying to move the chains. I think Zay Flowers is more, I'm going to take the top off the defense, and I'm going to be on a highlight reel. That's what Zay Flowers is. So
what's the guy on the outside? Isn't that what Chris Olave is? Highlight reel isn't that like the same style guy?
I mean, why not have two?
Why not have a guy that can open it up for a guy over across the middle? Downs would eat across the middle, open it up downfield for Olave.
I like Zay Flowers in the slot, and I'm going to take Zay Flowers for the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
KT, you're on the clock.
Miles Murphy.
Philly Eagles. Who did the Eagles? So let's talk about the Eagles draft real quick. They got Devon Witherspoon, so defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miles Murphy.
They lost a lot in defense this year after the Super Bowl.
They couldn't sniff the quarterback in the Super Bowl.
I was tempted to take a running back here, but I'm looking at Miles Murphy. He's still on the board. I like his upside. We know what Philadelphia do with their defensive line. A lot of sub packaging. They don't blitz. They rush 4. Yeah, he's still here. Philadelphia will be thrilled to get him.
Yeah, I love the pick. I like Felix and Duque right now, available for Kansas City. You prepare him on the other side with Chris Jones and Georgia Karlaftis. But I'm going to make this quick. I'm taking Josh Downs. You want a guy for Patrick Mahomes? You take Josh Downs and you go to the bank. You go right back to the Super Bowl. Like, you're giving Patrick Mahomes a Christmas gift in the middle of April.
This is what he was up to.
So
This is what he was up to.
So where is Tony and Sky Moore playing?
Okay. Tony?
Yeah.
Was cheap. See you later.
gone.
Sky Moore? We'll
He's a
put him in
dog.
wherever he could.
He's a dog.
He couldn't do anything this year.
You're gonna play Sky Moore on the outside?
No. You're not going to play Sky Moore on the outside. You're going to put Josh Downs all over the field and not just be a slot guy.
Okay. I like him. I mean, I like Josh Downs.
Josh Downs can do everything plus more than what Juju did for them last year.
I can see that.
Okay, and Juju almost hit 1,000 yards, right? 970-something yards. I don't know what he had for touchdowns. I think it might have been 6
He
or
was
7.
competing with Marquez Valdez-Scantling for
Who's gone?
touchdowns.
Who's gone, right?
Yeah.
So it's literally 2 midgets. He's playing with 2 midgets that are fast. That's it.
Right.
You want to talk possession? He's like you know what I mean? He's like a Julian Edelman type guy. Go across the middle, eat, get banged up, take hits, keep going. Like he loves contact. Bring it on. Come get me. I'm gonna keep getting 3, 4, 5 yards. Never goes backwards. Always falls forwards. Right. I just think Josh Downs on that team and for the team where you picked is a perfect fit.
No, I love that receiver core.
I think in New Orleans on turf, faster surface, I think Zay Flowers is the better pick. I do. I think Josh Downs in Kansas City, where they're going to be playing playoff football like in December, January out in the cold, I think a slot Julian Edelman type is perfect. I think
my other concern with Zay Flowers is Derek Carr going to be able to get him the ball downfield.
I don't know if Derek Carr will be able to get him, but I don't think everything he does needs to be downfield. I think you're going to be able to put him in screens. I think you're going to put him in jet motion. I think you're just going to try to establish. You're going to try to just get him touches. He's an athlete. And when they lose a guy like Alvin Kamara, I know he plays a different position, but the screen game, the wide receiver screen game, that's an extension of the run game. That's how you make up for some of those touches that you're going to lose.
And we're seeing a lot more teams put the receiver in the backfield. A lot more teams are starting to do that, and we'll hand it to them.
If they lose Kamara, wouldn't Quentin Johnson be more of a pick for the Saints to try to take the top off the ball? A bigger receiver?
Would you take Quentin Johnson?
No, you know how I feel about them, but I'm not the NFL GMs, and they've been falling in love with Quentin.
Here.
I'm just asking for your insight, bro.
I wouldn't take Quentin Johnson. I was considering Quentin Johnson and Jalen Hyatt if Zay was gone. And just because I think, again, the surface, indoor turf, 8 games. They're going to be able to fly. I like those guys, but with Zay Flowers there, no. I think he's electric. And Chris Olave, he is different than Flowers because he's more nuanced, which I think could rub off on a guy like Zay Flowers. And if he learns the nuances that Chris Olave has, Chris Olave, when you watched him last year, what I thought was incredible is I felt like 9 times out of 10 I saw him catch the ball. There was nobody around him. Like he created huge passing windows. Like his routes he is such a, and this is, I hate to bring it back. I read a quote from Brian Hartline talking about just Jackson Smith and Jigba and where he has him, and like how crazy is it that all those dudes are coming out of Ohio State? They're just pumping.
Oh, that was busting with the boys, right?
Pumping out studs, like pumping out. And
It's a great podcast.
yeah, so Olave, Garrett Wilson, so I think Zay Flowers could use a little bit. I do love Josh Downs. I also love Izzy Abanikanda, but I'm not going to take him over Bijan Robinson.
All right, whoa, like, hey, come on, you're going with. I was in the top 7 receivers. You went from the top 1 to like the number 9 to
4.
like 10.
I have Izzy at 4. Yeah,
we'll talk about that
He's
off
about to
camera.
leave.
We'll talk about that off camera.
I love him, dude.
Yeah.
He's young. I think he's 20. Like, dude's got tremendous upside. I like him. I might have
Like him more than Zach Evans.
I'll tell you right now. ToiletTitles.com. Let me look at my running back rankings. I got Bijan, Gibbs, A-Chain, Charbonnet, and then I got Abanikanda. So I got Abanikanda 5.
I like the A-Chain respect. I know
Thank you.
I know the mayor don't like. Well, I shouldn't say don't like. He just doesn't think that he's fit for what you would say 18 carries a game, 18 plus.
No, yeah, I'm right. That's right. I don't hate on him. If coach knows, I talked about A-Chain last year before he even became the spotlight guy. I said he was better than Spiller. I thought he had more positive plays per. When you look at it in a vacuum, everything that A-Chain did compared to Spiller was better. And Spiller ran like he had poop in his butt coming out the hole. Like it was just.
What's phenomenal? This mock is completed. And that's not the phenomenal part. The phenomenal part is all of this chatter, which is great. And like, I hope you're enjoying this at home as much as I'm enjoying being a part of it. We're going to find out in like exactly 2 weeks where the NFL sees these guys. So like all of our speculation and back and forth, and our work matters. So don't get me wrong. Like, stay tuned. Like, our analysis matters because they don't get it right every time. We don't get it right every time. But we're going to get to see where they value these guys. And then another thing that comes in is, as far as fantasy football world goes, landing spot, opportunity, huge. Sometimes a guy could be a more talented player, end up with the wrong coach, end up in the wrong system, end up with the wrong opportunity, and just slide. And then some guys who, kind of mediocre talent can just hit it at the right time and everything works out. And that's, I think, what makes this game so enjoyable. That's why I think making what we do so enjoyable.
You know what's crazy? Like, playing off that, like 30 days ago, Quentin Johnson was your consensus wide receiver 1, right? Everybody said Q was the guy, and maybe Jordan Addison could take that away from him. JSN hadn't run a 40 yet, so the speed was a question. 30 days, my man went from 1 to probably like 6.
Did you hear? Yeah. Was it Nagy who said that he's hearing buzz that most NFL teams only have 1 wide receiver ranked a first-round prospect?
JSN.
JSN.
That's it. Yep.
Imagine if we see a draft there only 1 wide receiver goes in the first round. Like, that would be bananas.
How many calls are Pittsburgh getting with players like Michael Mayer, Kalaji Kancey, Quentin Johnson? Their phone is off the hook the top of the second round with some of the players that are still on the board.
Man, Kancey, like, he is such a luxury. If you're a team, like, I think Philly, like, they don't need a team that has, they're just, they're set.
Right there. Give me him.
But I don't know if New England can afford a luxury pick.
No, they're not. New England's going with a big guy because this is what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to give you my insight in the Patriots in the draft. If they don't draft a big guy in the up front on offensive defensive side, Bill Belichick has lost the draft room. Let's go back 20 years. You go look at every first round pick. It's a big guy. It's either a big running back, right, or a big offensive defensive line. his linebackers that he drafted, big boys, 250. He doesn't like the small guys. He hates the small, little compact linebackers. If he changes that up and picks Jackson Smith-Njigba, if he's there on the board, right, he has lost the draft room. And Robert Kraft said to him, Mac Jones is the quarterback. Either you put pieces in front of him, or we can talk about where you're going to be next year.
That would be, man, if Bill Belichick became available, sign me up. I would, Sean Payton, whatever he went for, I'm paying that. Like, and then some. I would love.
Listen, I've watched him for over 20 years, right?
Maybe he needs a change of scenery, man.
I think he needs a wake-up call. So, like, there's a reason. Yes. There's a reason why he had chumps at coordinators, because he makes like $20 million a year, right? And they didn't have titles because when they get put on a title, they got to get paid off the books. That comes off as $20 million. I can keep going if you want.
But, man, how many rings did, like,
that's
was it worth
bro.
it?
That's pass. Hey,
was it worth it?
The Patriot way was Tom Brady. The
Patriot way, dude,
was Tom Brady because it's been exposed. It's been exposed.
The coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm in Disney World, all right? After the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I'm outside of a ride. I see somebody who looks like Matt Patricia. And I'm like, hey, man, has anyone ever told you look like Matt Patricia? Because I didn't think it was. Because if I thought it was him, I wouldn't have did this. And like, boom, it just happened. So, right? So I'm up. He's pushing a stroller, and he's like, I am. I said, you're full of S. You know the S word, but I'm trying to keep this PG-13. Shout out to the kids that are watching this right now. And he goes, I am him. And he pulls up the screen on the stroller. He's got two kids wearing Tom Brady jerseys, but on the back it says Patricia. His T-shirt was the Patriots logo, and it said life, liberty, and the pursuit of championships. And I just thought that was like that slogan. Because so that might be gone, but those must have been the days. Like that must have been.
I'm ready
incredible.
For KT because he wants me to explain myself. Correct? All right, hey, ready? Real quick. 3 years.
Go ahead.
3 years.
Ahead.
Tom Brady's been gone. 3 years. Everything that he said about contracts has gone out the window. 3 straight years. He's signed stupid contracts. Signed players that he would not sign. Do you think if Tom Brady was here in the Patriot way, Jacoby Myers was gone for the same style player and Juju Smith-Schuster for the same contract money? No way. You keep the guy, and that's your ace in the hole for your QB, correct? Right? Jacoby Myers was his guy, right? Oh, last year. Oh, wait a minute. His guy was Kendrick Bourne. What does Bill Belichick do? Bro, you can't get your uniform on. It's a little wrinkled. You're going to sit, and I'm going to let Mac Jones go into a tizzy because I got nobody to throw the ball to. Oh, Hunter Henry, right? And the other gentleman he signed, who's not on the team anymore, those are wasted contracts. He would not have done that if Tom Brady was here. Hometown discounts? No, Tom Brady was the hometown discount. I'm not saying Belichick's not a good coach, but I'm telling you everything he was on the podium pounding his chest about was only him pounding the chest about because he knew he had the GOAT behind him. Because when the GOAT's gone, everything changed.
He wasn't always the GOAT. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Let's be crystal clear.
What
the
was
first few championships y'all won was because of that defense and Belichick.
Where was that? Hey, what was Belichick's record before he came to New England? Talk to me. Trash.
As a head coach, not as a coordinator.
As a head coach, trash.
I would give a few of my toes for the run you guys have been on or were on.
But I'm not saying. I said during the run, right? It was good. He got an ego and he got old. And now he's chasing. Now he's chasing numbers, dude. He's chasing Don Shula. He's been chasing Don Shula since the last year at Brady, right? And it's a problem.
I think the first year with Mac Jones, I thought he overachieved. It's been downhill since then, but I think the first year with Mac Jones, what Belichick was able to do with him in that team, I think was better than what anyone would have expected.
You're probably right. You're probably 100% right. But he didn't want the guy, and he got forced into taking Mac Jones.
He made it work.
He had to make it work. That wasn't his plan, though. He had a plan, right? So what did he have to do? He went and got your street vendor hot dog and Cam Newton off the corner,
right?
And put him in a quarterback for a battle. There was no battle.
Street vendor.
You know what I'm saying?
Cam Newton is
He's the sausage and peppers after you leave Fenway. That's what Cam Newton was, dude. He was just, you're drunk and you need something to fill the hole. Like Bill Belichick, he waited to the last minute to even get a QB, bro.
The disrespect for Bill Belichick right now is real, bro.
Nah, it's real. I'm just being a realistic Pats fan.
I'm not just talking about you.
I'm just now noticing the comments.
Yeah, like the disrespect is real.
Yo, they haven't won a single playoff game, bro.
The last time we seen Brady in the Patriots jersey, Tennessee mollywopped y'all.
What was the score against Buffalo? You want to talk?
Mollywopping?
You want to talk mollywopping? You guys just handed us a jockstrap. Jockstrap. They've owned us.
Y'all still have been competitive without coordinators.
You think we were competitive? We were competitive last year?
Yes, y'all were competitive. Boston fans are spoiled.
We were competitive against trash.
Boston fans are spoiled.
We won against
trash, when the Celtics made the championship last year, I heard Boston fans call Jason Tatum all types of crap. Boston fans are spoiled.
Bro, Jason Tatum, I'm a Boston fan. Jason Tatum is Carmelo Anthony 2.0, and we will not win a championship with that dude on my team. I've been saying that for years, and I will keep saying that.
This is phenomenal. I love this heat.
What's he done? My man don't even go to the hole, bro. He doesn't want to eat at the foul line.
Put that on the board. I need that on the board. Right?
He's on the board? Rich is in the chat. Rich, let me know if you got.
We need that on the board. And when the Celtics win it all this year, this is what I'm doing to Nino.
All right, but when they don't, go hide because I'm coming.
KT, welcome to the bathroom board. All right, Rich, you heard it. Put it on the board.
Put that on a board.
What exactly is it? State it. State this bet.
State the board.
That Celtics win the championship. That's what you said, right? They're winning
this year.
Okay.
No, hold on. You said he will never win the championship. All right, so we can't just put the parameters here.
He's not going to win because if they don't win this year, Jaylen Brown's gone. Who's replacing him? You want to put money on that too? Because I'll put money on that.
No.
Yeah.
Let's keep our affairs in order.
And there's a reason
win the championship.
They're not winning because they don't get along. It's a game. It's a movie. They put a script out. They play that script for now. He wants out. Wow. What's behind Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? I hear depth. All
right.
Derek White is trash.
Listen. To be fair, I'm really not interested in basketball. So I'm bringing it back.
I didn't cut you off though when you went on your little tangent about games to play.
Which games?
Your games with Mark Schofield.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're right.
No, I'm just saying it's all good.
That's fair.
I'm just saying.
It was for the guest. It wasn't for me. It was
all
all scripted. It was all scripted.
Moment.
Playing the game.
I love it.
This is what I do, bro. This is what I do. I'm just saying.
Playing the game.
I miss you, brother. I ain't got to argue with you. I ain't got to argue with you in a minute, bro.
We are at 58 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
All right, next week things are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the Toilets Titles YouTube, CFB Nation. Check out Real Ones Productions. Check out the mayor of college football at Nino Brown _T2T, the governor of college football at Leverett _KT. I'm the court jester. All right. I'm at Coach Sheps. All right. I'm just here bringing the bright lights and the tassels and making everything bright and beautiful. If you want to get in a mock draft challenge, check out our Twitter handle at Toilets of Titles. It's the pinned tweet. We are going to put for every 10 people who enter, we're going to put $20 in a pot. All right. You can win up to $500 for free. All you got to do is subscribe to some YouTube channels, get in our Gilded Chat, all that free stuff. Just get a mock draft. And you can even copy our mock draft because there's a good chance ours is going to be correct. So that's it, man. So everybody, we appreciate you. We will catch you all next week. Got tons of content, so you'll be able to see us tomorrow, the next day, whatever. Like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff helps it out. Thank you. Take care. Oh, wait.